welcome to the Deep Dive, where we extract the most vital insights from the material you've provided. Today, we're looking at Labor Day. And for a lot of us, let's be honest, it often just signals the end of summer, right? That last long weekend, maybe some family time, getting outdoors, perhaps grabbing some deals before the fall schedule really kicks in. But the sources we looked at for this deep dive show, it's got this really rich history, a surprising evolution, actually. Okay, let's unpack this.
Absolutely. Our material really maps out Labor Day's whole journey. I mean, from its pretty intense beginnings with workers' marches, fighting for rights, all the way to how we often see it now, maybe more as a wellness weekend or just, leisure time. So we're here to give you a kind of shortcut to understanding what it's really all about. It's a deeper significance.
And it's quite a story. It really is eye-opening when you dig into where it started. The very first Labor Day celebration, September 5th, 1882, that was in New York City, organized by the Central Labor Union.
Yeah, and to get why that was such a big deal, you really have to picture industrial America back then. Industries were exploding, sure, but the human cost was immense. We're talking incredibly long hours, 12, sometimes 16 hours a day.
Wow.
X, even 7 days a week. Conditions were often dangerous, and child labor was, well, depressingly common.
Right.
So workers and these emerging labor unions were starting to organize. It was a tough fight, obviously. They were pushing for better treatment, fair pay, and the big one, the 8-hour workday.
And that first celebration, it wasn't just like a grim protest march. The sources say it was festive, too. Workers actually took the day off, which was a huge deal in itself.
Oh, definitely. Unpaid, usually.
They marched in a parade, and then afterwards there were speeches, yeah, but also picnics, music. It sounds like this mix of political statement and real community celebration.
Exactly. It was that combination, that spirit that really caught on. The idea of a workers' holiday started gaining steam nationally, surprisingly fast. And things really came to a head with the Pullman strike in 1894. That caused massive disruption, got huge public attention. Federal troops were even called in.
And a major event.
Yeah. And President Grover Cleveland, probably feeling the pressure from a very restless workforce, signed Labor Day into law as a national holiday that same year, maybe trying to, ease some tensions.
And here's a little bit of trivia I found interesting in the sources.
Oh.
Canada actually had its own version first. A parade in Toronto way back in 1872 supporting striking printers. And apparently that event directly inspired the American labor leaders. So bit of early cross-border influence there.
That's fascinating. I didn't realize the Canadian connection was quite that direct.
So, okay, it's a national holiday now. How did people celebrate back then in the late 1800s, early 1900s? The sources really paint a picture of activism mixed with this really strong community feeling. The parades sound amazing, not just marching, but showcasing different trades, unions with banners, bands, workers literally carrying their tools or wearing their work uniforms. A lot of pride there.
Yes, absolutely. And the day didn't end with the parade. It turned into this big community festival, huge picnics, lots of homemade food, apparently. Field games were big, sack races, tug-of-war, baseball games.
Older stuff.
Yeah, people went to lakes or rivers for swimming, boating, fishing. And neighborhood gatherings would have speeches about workers' rights, sure, but also music and dancing. It was a full-day event.
It's interesting listening to that. It strikes me how those early traditions were already kind of promoting what we call wellness today.
How so?
Well, all the movement, being outdoors, the social connection, it feels like an unintentional focus on well-being, doesn't it?
That's a great point. It wasn't labeled wellness, but the core elements were there. Fresh air, activity, community, fundamental human needs. And speaking of those early celebrations, there's a funny detail in the source material about that very first parade in 1882.
Oh.
Apparently, it ended with a massive picnic, featuring quite a few kegs of beer.
Kegels, no kidding.
Yep. The organizers even admitted later that the free beer was, let's say, a significant factor in getting thousands of people to show up. Practical motivation.
Well, got to bring the people together somehow, right?
Exactly. So, okay, let's jump forward to today, the 21st century. What's really noticeable in the sources is how much the focus of Labor Day has shifted. It's largely moved away from the big political rallies, the union marches, and become much more about the long weekend itself. Leisure, relaxation.
Yeah, that feels right.
You see backyard barbecues, people heading to the beach or parks, maybe short road trips, local festivals, and definitely the holiday sales.
It's true. That overt activism isn't usually front and center anymore, but I think what's still there, and maybe even more important now, are the health benefits. Spending time outside, connecting with people. That stuff is timeless. So, what does this shift really mean for us? Maybe the political edge has softened, but that original need for rest, for connection, it's still why we value this break, isn't it?
I think so. The expression of it has changed, but the underlying need persists.
And speaking of how things change, that old no white after Labor Day rule, did you see that in the materials?
Yes, not really about fashion, was it?
Not at all. It was apparently a social code among the wealthy elite back in the day. Labor Day marked their return to the city from summer resorts. So you packed away the light summer clothes, the whites, for darker city attire. Wearing white after that basically signaled you weren't in the know with their social calendar.
Right, a subtle status marker. Fascinating. And on a more, perhaps politically significant note, the timing. Why early September in the U.S.? Most of the world marks International Workers' Day on May 1st. The sources suggest the U.S. deliberately chose September,
Why is that?
partly to distance the holiday from the more, shall we say, radical socialist and communist associations of the May Day movements in Europe at the time. A conscious political calculation.
Interesting. So the date itself has a political backstory.
It shaped the holiday right from the start.
You know, the timing of Labor Day weekend, end of summer, it really is perfect for a bit of a wellness boost, isn't it? Still warm enough for summer activities, but you feel autumn approaching, makes you appreciate the daylight, maybe.
Absolutely. And if you think about it, those outdoor activities we associate with the weekend offer so much. Physically, great for your heart, build strength, good for joints. Mentally, being outdoors, it's a proven stress reliever, mood lifter, helps with sleep.
Can't argue with that.
Socially, doing things together, it strengthens family bonds, builds that sense of community. And seasonally, you mentioned the daylight, getting that extra sun exposure before the days get shorter is actually important. Helps with vitamin D, regulates mood. It all connects back to, well, basic human well-being.
Okay, so if you want to tap into that this year, combine the tradition with feeling good. What are some practical ideas? We pulled some from the sources.
Yeah, lots of good ones. You could actually go watch a local parade, if there is one. Maybe make it a walking goal. Get your steps in.
Nice.
Plan a picnic, but focus on packing healthy stuff. Fresh fruits, veggies, whole grains, lean protein. Make it a nourishing feast.
Good call.
Or organize some neighborhood games, cornhole, frisbee, volleyball, maybe even a silly tug of war. Gets people moving and laughing. Hiking or just a nature walk is great. Look for those first hints of fall color. If you're near water, kayaking, paddle boarding, a final swim. Excellent ways to enjoy the weather.
Family bike rides. Always a good one.
Definitely. Or even something calmer, like some evening yoga or Tai Chi outside as the sun goes down. Peaceful.
And thinking back to those parades, another fun detail from the sources, those early Union parades sometimes became these intense competitions for who had the most elaborate float.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like with moving parts, live animals, even working machinery on the float, rolling down the street. Real dedication and craft pride on display.
Wow, that's incredible. They took it seriously.
You really did. So, wrapping up this deep dive, Labor Day's journey is pretty remarkable, isn't it? From this powerful statement about workers' rights and struggles, a celebration of unity and progress, to its modern form, often more focused on that welcome pause, relaxation, connection. The way we celebrate has certainly evolved, but maybe that core idea, taking time to pause, connect, recharge, that's the thread that runs through it all.
I think that's well put. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. This Labor Day, perhaps think about honoring those past workers, their struggles and achievements, and also honor yourself. Step away from the screens for a bit, get outside if you can, and really savor this last long weekend of the season.
Yeah, definitely. Because those days are getting shorter, routines are about to get busier. Use this holiday, celebrate your own accomplishments, big or small, and make a conscious choice to invest in your health, your well-being. Enjoy those moments outdoors.